Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellie McCormick. I am 26 years old. I am a mum of 3 children, not 2, 3. Gotta remember that sometimes. But I thought today I would take the time out to share with you guys my weight loss journey. How I went from a size 18, and this is Australian sizes, how I went from an Australian size 18 to a size 8 to 10, which is what I am currently now. So I have had 3 pregnancies. I have gone through ups and downs. I have gone through very complicated labours to pretty breezy labours. I've had a bit of a mix of both. I've been on one end of the scale where I was very overweight. Didn't have energy, didn't have any time for anybody, wanted to stay as a hermit in my house. I didn't want to leave the house. I wanted to just be on my own. I think that I suffered from postnatal depression. So in April 2014 is when I gave birth to my beautiful daughter Mia. She is now 4, which is just crazy. But anyway, I put on a total of 100 kilos or more. When I got to a certain stage of my pregnancy, I didn't want to look at the scales anymore. I was frightened to look at the scales because I knew that I would get down on myself. And so I'm not really sure what I weighed, but I know that it was over 100 kilos. So that was really, really tough. I was having a poor diet. I was a new mum, which was really overwhelming. It was a very overwhelming time for me. And I really do feel like I was suffering from a lot of anxiety and depression, which made it even tougher. I didn't want to leave the house. I wanted to stay home with my baby all the time. I found reasons not to do things. If friends would message me about catching up, I'd make excuses why I couldn't catch up with them because I was so ashamed of how I was feeling, and it was a really sad place where I was at that time. It wasn't until I got to the 6-month mark of being postpartum and I decided that I needed to lose weight because, one, I really wanted to have another baby really soon, and I knew that my chances of getting pregnant were slimming the more weight that I was putting on. So I really had to take a step back and figure out what it was that I wanted to achieve in my life at that point. And that was having another baby, 1, and 2 was to get ready for my wedding. So Ben and I, which is my husband, he and I wanted to be married before we had our second baby. So the mission was to lose as much weight as possible in a short amount of time, which really isn't ideal, and it's not realistic when you really think about it on the big scale of things, because when you put a time limit on yourself, it's tough, and you do it really tough, and it can make or break you, really. Like, I had points where I really didn't want to do it anymore. Like, I didn't want to eat the food anymore. I was sick of eating the same meal. Like, it was just driving me nuts. But in the end, persistence was what I needed to get to where I wanted to be. I'm going to be real with you. When I was losing weight, after having Mia, and I was really trying to lose weight for the wedding and for having another baby, the foods that I was eating, I was getting over them really, really, really quickly. So I didn't want to have to do what I was doing all the time. I thought there was an easier option. Like, I had friends that were on this product called Isagenix, and they were losing a lot of weight. Like, they were losing heaps and heaps of weight. No doubt they would have been putting in the effort as well with their exercising. I decided to give that a go. And for me, Isagenix just didn't work. It worked as in losing the kilos and everything. Oh, I dropped the weight, and I dropped the weight pretty quick using Isagenix. But I really, really struggled with it. I have like an intolerance to whey protein. I don't know if it's the the powder for milk or what that is in with the whey protein, but I cannot stomach it whatsoever. So I would have my shakes and then I would have to sit down on the couch, be in fetal position for about 30 minutes until it would digest and my stomach would calm down. And that is something that I dealt with for the time that I was using it. So when my wedding came up, I obviously stopped using it because I didn't need a reason to lose weight really quickly anymore. So the stuff just sat in my cupboard, hundreds of dollars worth, by the way, because that stuff is not cheap. And I was very deflated. I wasn't going to the gym as much. I think that when you are restricting yourself so much with diets and then all of a sudden you stop, it is so hard to get back on it because you know how tough it is. And that's when I needed to start changing my mindset from being a diet to a lifestyle. So now when I think of how I live my life, I don't think of it as, well, I've got a diet, so this is what I'm eating, blah, blah, blah. It's a lifestyle. This is the way it is forever. This is my life forever. I am going to eat well, but I'm going to have balance. I'm still going to have my treats. I'm still going to have that cake if, you know, I'm at a birthday party, or if I go out for dinner, yeah, I'm going to have those chips. Like, it's not about limiting yourself anymore because it's a balance. So balance is huge. It plays a huge part in any weight loss journey. If you are wanting to lose weight, I suggest you start to try and get your foods under control before you even dare start exercising. Because, yeah, you can exercise and have a shit diet, but at the end of the day, if you stop exercising, you're going to put that weight on so much quicker. Like, yeah, you're probably just maintaining yourself, but yeah, like I am a big believer in nutrition and keeping it 80-20. Having that balance of, yeah, okay, I'm not going to limit myself when I really want to have a treat or whatever. But in saying that too, doesn't mean that I have a treat every single day. All right, enough about that. Between my first baby and my second baby, I lost a total of about 27 kilos, which is a hell of a lot. It probably was more, seeing as I didn't know what my total kilos amount was. But I was sitting at around the 78 kilo mark for my wedding, on my wedding day type thing, which I was really proud of myself. Like, yeah, I still felt like a big girl, but I was getting comfortable with myself. I was, you know, starting to, yeah, just get that little bit more confidence and all of that type of thing. When it came to my honeymoon, wow, let's just say everything went down the drain. I believe I probably put on a good 5 kilos plus on my honeymoon because all of a sudden I wasn't eating the same meals. I was eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and we were on our honeymoon. So we were like, hell yeah, like why can't we just do this? Why can't we just go and have that? Like, oh my God, we're enjoying it. And it was so much fun. Do not regret a thing. Do not regret a thing. I just want to put it out there. No regrets. I reckon between the time that we got home from our honeymoon and we started getting ready to have our second baby, I probably put on another 5 kilos on top of that. So after my wedding, I was weighing at the 78 mark. And after stopping Isagenix, stopping all the foods and trying to get a balance happening, I reckon I put on another 10 kilos. So I was sitting at the 88 mark at this point. It took us 2 months before I got pregnant again, which we are very lucky. Falling pregnant in April, all the way through April, far out. See, mum brain. My brain is just fried all the time. I literally have to try and remember what I'm saying all the time or ask someone to help me out because I can't think of what I was trying to say. So bad. Anyway, back to point. From getting pregnant in April 2015, all through that time till January, I put on a total, I got to 95 kilos. So what's that? 7 kilos, I think that is. 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 45. See? 7. I knew. Anyway, so got up to 95 kilos and I was really happy with that. Even though I was over 100 with my first baby, I was pretty proud of myself for being able to be below that. And reminding as well that I wasn't exercising constantly. I was working out probably 5 days a week with my pregnancy, with my second pregnancy. And a lot of it was more walking than doing weights. It's such a hard thing because everyone is so different. But for me, in the back of my mind, I'd keep thinking that if I pushed myself too hard or if I just did something, I was going to lose this baby. And I really didn't. It's one of my biggest fears is to miscarriage. Like, I don't want to know what that feels like because I know a lot of people who have experienced that and it's devastating. Like, it's such an emotional thing that you go through, and I just wouldn't want that. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. So that was a very big fear for me. So limited myself a lot, just doing cardio and a few weights. Towards the end, I was just walking. I wasn't doing any weights whatsoever, which looking back now, I wish that I had done something. And putting that into perspective as well, when I was pregnant with my first, I was told very early on not to be working out, even though I was working out prior. And so I think that having that in the back of my mind as well with my second pregnancy is I just didn't want to do it because I was told with my first not to do it, and I didn't do anything, which I look back and I just think, oh, you fool, Ali. Because what people don't realize is that when you work out with pregnancy, with anything, is that it helps your body. Like, your body functions so much better. It goes hand in hand with nutrition, remembering that nutrition needs to play a very big part in your weight loss journey, or doing any type of fitness, whatever. Nutrition is huge. It is very, very, very important. And I completely stopped working out with my first pregnancy because of that fear of miscarriaging, of something happening, that I didn't want anything to happen, to go wrong. It was my first time, a very big mistake. So I encourage women to work out when you're pregnant, obviously within your own limits. Everyone is so different. So don't push yourself to be like someone else who's, a little bit more advanced. Anything to move your body is going to help you either way, whether it be mentally, whether it be emotionally. Like, it plays a huge part. With my labor, I don't think I said that. Did I say that with my first? I can't remember now. With my labor, with my first baby, I actually teared when giving birth. I had a 3rd degree tear, which really made my journey so much harder to start. And I think at the time I was probably giving myself a lot of excuses as well because I wasn't ready to start my fitness journey and everything at that stage. But I was pretty much limited to the couch for the first 2 months because it was horrific. It was a very, very painful experience, and I did it all naturally. So which was a really, really good thing, but I did it naturally. I felt everything. I didn't get to have any drugs. I didn't have any gas. I had nothing. I did it all on my own, and it was very painful. I had to go straight to theatre, so I wasn't allowed to hold my baby or anything when I gave birth, which was really, really, really tough because they had to stitch me up straight away. I think that really encouraged my depression as well. Like, it was tough enough being a new mum, but then having that, as well as not having the support that I needed in the hospital, it was really tough. After having my second labour, it was a lot longer. Now, I am going to just put this in here right now. If you want me to tell you guys about my labour stories or anything like that, just comment below and let me know. And if I get enough comments to want to do that, then I'll put one up telling my birth stories and whatnot. But I'm just going to put it out there right now that if you don't have a very good stomach for gross things, don't worry about it, because birth is crazy. Birth is insane. All right, so let's whip it through. I had a 2nd degree tear, which was better than my first, being a 3rd degree tear, which was very sore. 2nd degree, it wasn't too bad at all. I was cleared to work out a month after having Aria, which is my 2-year-old now. And when we were on our honeymoon back in 2015, in the early stages of 2015, that's when I first came across Lorna Jane. I love Lorna Jane's clothes. But anyway, and they were doing a 12-week Lorna Jane challenge, which was a workout challenge. It wasn't to do with food, it was just to do with workouts. And I started doing those as soon as I got cleared to work out. I started working out every single day. And I wasn't at the gym, it was here at home. I was going to the gym just doing cardio, just to get out of the house, because I felt like there were days that I just had a lot of built up anger. And I don't know if that was a little bit of postpartum depression as well. I'm not really sure, but I really was able to push it out a lot better. Being active really helped my mental state. I always found in the past I had such a negative look on things, even though I was a positive person, but when it came to myself, I was very negative. If I saw a photo of myself or whatever, I would pick out every imperfection, and it was a very ugly mindset. But with my second baby, I really started to learn that my mental health was so important, and therefore began the journey of loving yourself. But that is a whole different ball game again, because that is all emotional type stuff instead of the physical type stuff, which is what I'm trying to let you guys know about now. With the Lorna Jane 12-week challenge, it was a good way to start a routine, because I had to do it every single day. I would have to mark out or work out a time that I had to work out with the kids, whether it be before the kids woke up or when they went for their naps or whatever. I had to work it all into my everyday schedule. And after the 12 weeks, there was not a huge amount of visual loss. Like when I would look back at my before and afters, there was definitely a loss of weight and everything. You could tell that I was smaller and all of that type of thing. But it wasn't like a very big visual, because they always seem to say that, your first 12 weeks is when people really start to notice that you're losing weight. And then after that, that's when it really starts. Like, you really start to lose it. When I started the challenge, I was weighing 88 kilos. I lost just under 8 kilos. It was about 7.8 kilos or something like that, that I lost in the 12 weeks. So after having Aria in January 2016 and starting all my challenges up, I started to focus more on what I had to eat. Focusing way more on what I was eating. At the start, it was a lot more larger portions of everything, and then I finally got onto macros or macronutrients. So macronutrients being a combination of your proteins, fats, and your carbs. Depending on what your goals are, you need to limit what you have more of. But yeah, macronutrients is a whole another thing again. And, you know, there's a lot of different information out there about it all. For me, I had to limit my carbs, I had to up my protein and sort of up my fats, but my carbs were so low. Yeah, bottom heavy type of girl. I'm very bottom heavy, so I knew that was my focus, and the only way to do that was to limit my carbs. So I was strict with my macros up until September, which is when I was at my lowest. After that, I sort of got off my macros. Like, I was still doing them, but I was also eating other things that I wanted to eat. So that's why my weight was fluctuating so much. And I wasn't getting back on my track of losing weight. So we're talking back with the Lorna Jane challenge. I lost just under 8 kilos total. And I lost 47.1 centimeters all over my body. So off my chest, off my hips, off my waist, off my legs, arms, everywhere. Which to me at the time, I was really proud of myself, and I still am really proud of myself. I thought that it was such a great achievement. Yeah. Now, where was I? So that's what I did with that challenge. And while I was doing that challenge, I started up my fitness account, fitmama_journey on Instagram, where I kept myself accountable. I put all of my stuff up, all my progress, everything, and it was all just for myself. So I didn't want it to get out to anyone that I knew. I didn't want anyone to find me. I just wanted to keep it to myself. All of a sudden, people that I knew started to follow me, and I freaked out. I was like, oh, these guys are just on here to have a laugh at me, you know, and that just shows where my mental state was at the start of my journey second time round. It was such a hard time. And I even put up a post, if you can see, and I put up saying, you know, I'm a little bit nervous about everyone, you know, being on here and all of that type of thing, but the support that I got from all of my friends and family blew me away, and it was so beautiful. Like, so many people reached out and just congratulated me and, you know, were encouraging me to keep going, which just gave me that extra motivation of, yeah, okay, I can do this. Like, I've got this. You know, even though people who know me have seen it, it's all good. We are all good. And then from there, I started my ASHY 28-day booty challenge. So I did 4 rounds of that. So I did 4 months of that. In between, I had my wisdom teeth all removed. So I had to have some time off working out and everything. But I was in my routine, and I wanted to keep my routine. And I felt like routine really helped to get everything just consistent. Like, I remember when I was finally able to get out of bed and have the energy to work out, I had this biggest swollen face. It was next level, but that's how bad I wanted it. That's how much I knew that excuses had to be overruled. I had to get rid of all my excuses as to why I couldn't do it, and I just had to do it. Come around into September is when I sort of slowed down with my ASHY binds, and I started to get into my weight training and really concentrate on lifting heavier, not being afraid of weights and things like that. Not that I was afraid before, but after doing the ASHY binds beauty program for 4 months, I got to my lowest weight dated at that point. I'm now at my lowest weight, but like back then in 2016, that was when I got to my lowest weight, and that was about 68 kilos. And what happened, we went on holidays. And what did we do on holidays? We went all out, because YOLO, we can do whatever we want. And that is when I started to, it was like my weight would fluctuate. all the time. Yes, so my weight was fluctuating between 68 and 72 kilos up until my third pregnancy, which I was pregnant by the end of December. Pregnancy number 3, this pregnancy with this one. Oh. Who doesn't stop moving, is so active, because I was active. When I got pregnant in December, I was sitting at 70 kilos. So 70 kilos is what I stayed at for quite a while with my first trimester. I started to gain weight towards the second trimester. I really struggled with my first trimester. I didn't want to eat my macros anymore. I couldn't stomach healthy food. I just wanted dry, savoury biscuits. I just wanted Savoys. I just wanted something to soak up all of the sick feeling that I was always having throughout the day. So usually morning sickness, you have it in the morning. Well, not for everyone, but with my first 2 pregnancies, it was just in the morning and that was it. With third time round, I was sick constantly throughout the day, which was super tough having 2 little ones as a 1-year-old and a 2 going on 3-year-old. It was struggle town. I found that really hard. Obviously, again, mindset, not wanting to lose this baby, I slowed down with my weight training. So I was weight training up until probably about like 5 or 6 weeks pregnant, and I slowed right down. So I was doing, and it was probably because I wasn't having energy either. I lost all my energy. So I was just walking everywhere, walked to the park with these guys, just did lots and lots of walking around. Didn't go to the gym very much at all, and it wasn't until I got into my second trimester that I slowly started to get back into it. By the third trimester, I was on fire. I was back in my normal routine. I was going to the gym probably more towards 6 days a week, which was awesome. I was doing both cardio and weights combined together. But I definitely put on the weight. So I reckon I put on a total of about 17 kilos all up with my pregnancy. But I wasn't phased. By this point, with my mental look on things, with everything, I didn't look at it in a bad way at all. I knew that I could lose the weight. I had done it before. I knew that I would be even better than the last time because I kept so active throughout my pregnancy. Even though I put on 17 kilos, I lost that weight quick. My labour, it was the best labour I'd had. When I gave birth, I only had a few stitches. I didn't have a 2nd or 3rd degree tear like I did with my previous babies. So everything was a lot easier third time around. Do you want something else? Do you want something else? Yeah, you can have this one now. Aria May McCormick, what is going on? Hey? You want to come up here too? Okay. So I'm getting more and more kids coming in now, aren't I? Hey? Hey, no! Pretty much best labour that I had out of all my babies. And like I said earlier on, if you want to know about my birth stories, I'm more than happy to share. But yeah, I just don't want to have to do it if no one's really interested. I was cleared to work out a lot earlier than what I expected, especially compared to my second baby. So I was very, very lucky in that sense of being able to work out sooner. In saying that though, I only was walking and then slowly started to incorporate weights, which were not heavy. I was going lower and everything until, you know, I could feel that I was getting stronger and all of that, and then got back into it. But it is so important. I cannot stress this enough. It is so important to make sure that your doctor clears you before you go back into working out, especially after having a baby. When you think about what it's like with pregnancy. It takes 9 months to grow a baby. It's going to take time to recover as well. With after having my first baby, there was no way I was going to be going into a gym for a very long time after having a 3rd-degree tear and, you know, doing a few other things to my body. Like, there was no way. Second time round, a month in, I was cleared. This time round, I think it was 2 weeks and I was good to go, or under 2 weeks. So that was awesome. 7 months postpartum with my 3rd baby. I'm working out daily. I have lost over 21 kilos, which puts me to my lowest weight to date, which is very exciting. I'm about 1 kilo away from my very first goal of reaching 65 kilos, which was what I had planned after having Aria. But obviously, you know, things just happen and you can't put too much pressure on yourself. And especially with me being a mum of 3, like, I just, you know, you just can't. You've got to work in with what you can do. Get onto, so then you have something to strive for, because you need to have something. So to end things, so you guys get a clear understanding of how I lost my weight, and how I went from, excuse me, Aria, you didn't get hit on the head. I watched that. You just got knocked a little bit, that's all. So pretty much to end things and to put into perspective how I ended up losing my weight. Oh, Jacob, don't hurt Aria. Oh my goodness. No, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. All right. Now I've got no babies. One's on the floor, one's over here, one's gone to bed. Oh my gosh, it's busy. Being a mum is so busy. Things help me stay on track. I have 4 main things. 4. So goals is very, very important when you're ready to start your weight loss journey. Goals, it could be as simple as being able to get a chin up or a pull up unassisted, which are 2 major ones that I've been wanting to get for 4 years, and I have finally done it this year. This year is my year of accomplishments. But anyway, it could be as simple as that. It could be losing weight, putting weight on. Number 2, routine. Routine is massive, especially in our household. I'm a mum of 3 kids. I have a husband as well. It is busy. Like, you know, we go. It's very, very important to keep a routine. Working out schedules, working out times that you can go to the gym, or you can mark out time to work out. Because if you don't mark that time out, or if you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. The workouts aren't going to happen. So that is very, very important. Support, number 3, support. I don't think that I would have been where I am now if I didn't have the support from Ben, if I didn't have the support from my family, from my friends to encourage me to keep going. Having a support system is really such a good thing to have if you have that. I had a lot of support from Ben. He takes control of the kids when I go to the gym. I wouldn't be able to go to the gym if he didn't pitch in. My parents, they are huge supporters as well, you know, helping out with the kids, with us, everything. So having a support system is super important. And number 4, and it's probably the most important thing, I know that I've said important to everything else, but number 4, meal prep. If you do not do your meal prep when you are starting out, especially at the beginning, you're not going to eat right. Your foods are the biggest, they have the biggest part to play in your weight loss journey. If you are not fueling your body with good nutrition, you are not going to get the results that you want. I always think of myself as a car. If I put good petrol, like the really premium stuff in my car functions 10 times better. If I put real shit stuff in my car, I'm going to have a pretty crappy result. So when I think of me, I want to have all the good stuff so my body is functioning at its absolute best. Because yeah, if you're not fueling your body with good stuff, you're gonna go nowhere, you're gonna have no energy, and you're gonna just crave all the stuff that you were eating beforehand. So it's really, really important to meal prep, to take the time out to figure out what your meals are gonna be, if you are doing macros, what your protein, fats and carbs are, what the percentage are of all of those for you to, get to whatever goal you're trying to achieve. So this time round, 7 months postpartum, 21 kilos down, haven't checked my centimeters, but I did take measurements after giving birth, so I will have to do that eventually to see what my total centimeters are to compare. Oh, what have we got? Oh my gosh, this is Mia's. Turn around and say hello.
Hello.
Turn around, say hello, come over here.
Hello.
Look at her beautiful drawing. Is this a rainbow lizard?
Yeah. Can we send it to Greenland?
Yes, we can. It's Green Nan's birthday. That's what we call my mum. Here you go. You take it back. So that brings me to the end of sharing my weight loss journey with you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed. Please do subscribe and give it a like. And I am planning to give you guys a lot more content, a lot more, doing my workout videos and stuff like that. I really want to just put myself out there to encourage other women, to let people see that anything is achievable if you actually put in the effort. Anything is possible if you set your mind to it and you put in 100%. If you want to get results, you've got to do the hard work, and it is hard work. That's the other thing too. There are no magic pills. There isn't any, fad diet that people are doing to get the same results or anything like that. Because in the end, you're not just doing the physical work, but it's a mental, it's an emotional, it's everything. It all comes together, and health and fitness is super important in our everyday lives. So I cannot stress that enough. I hope that this has reached out to at least one person, and it's made a difference for them and made them realize that, okay, I've got to change my way of what I'm doing now. And like I said earlier on in the video, it's a lifestyle change, it's not a diet. So once you change that thought process of a diet and a lifestyle, you'll really come to grow. And it's all about persisting as well. So not giving up when it gets too hard, and if you're not seeing the results straight away or whatever, it's take your before and afters. Do your research when it comes to your foods and what you want to have, and just trust it. Trust every step that you take. Trust yourself, trust your journey, and you will soar. You really, really will. So, I haven't gotten where I am now if I didn't struggle at the beginning. I struggled a lot at the beginning. My journey has been fitness, eating right, pregnancies. Fitness, eating right, pregnancy. It's just crazy. Okay, enough about all of that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope that I've inspired at least one person to go and make a difference. Yeah, if you want to make a difference. Because it's good to have all the energy for your kids as well as yourself. But yeah, so what? Yeah, you're right. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys for listening again. And I hope you all have a fabulous day. Okay. Thank you. Bye.